Peace, peace. Ayah 36:11. You can only warn whoever follows the reminder and are in awe of the Almighty concerning the unseen. So good news to him/her concerning forgiveness and a noble reward. Okay. You can only warn whoever follows the reminder, which means that I'm preaching to the choir. Nobody really want to listen to this stuff. Not my kids, my wife, nobody. You know what I mean? But I gotta do this because this is the only way. If my kids want to, or anybody want to know what God is saying, what the reading is saying, right? About the previous laws, there's the Torah and the Bible and stuff like that, and the gospel, whatever. If they want to, because I know people don't like to really read. I did a lot of studying. I've always been studying. You know what I mean? So I did a study, and now I'm putting the studies for them, if they want it. You know what I mean? So all I could do. Everything is between a person and God. So I'm preaching to the choir, and I'm gonna preach to the choir. God says Lucifer will make them change the creation of God. And y'all always say the Quran is Mubin, it's clear, it's Fusilat, it's explained in detail. You don't need the books, the other books of Hadith and the Sunnah of the Prophet. You don't need and the Imams, and you don't need none of that stuff, right? You say the Quran is Mubin, but yet and still you follow NASA cosmology. NASA was started by the United States government by employing Nazi scientists. America always supported the Nazis. They supported Hitler. They would give money to them and stuff like that. But anyways, preaching to the choir. Why we never see a real actual picture of the so-called outer space? It's always fake CGI. It's Mubin. It clearly states we put anchors in the earth or else it will shift with you. Clearly it states that several times. I mean, my videos, NASA versus the Quran, is a part 1 and part 2. Part 1 is about the earth, I believe. Part 2 is about the sky. When about the earth, I give you the proofs, the ayats. It says clearly, we put anchors in the earth or else it will shift with you, move with you, have a way you want it, any kind of movement. But you still want to accept that the earth is tilted. I don't know how a ball could have a tilt. That the earth is tilted around 3-dimensional ball. They only say it's around 3-dimensional ball because they say the sun, the moon is 3-dimensional ball. So the earth has to be a 3-dimensional ball. I just don't get it. You complain about the so-called Hadith and the Sunni tradition and the Shiite, but you following Nazis. You following NASA over what the reading says. I don't get it. I don't know much about jinn, the jinn. I don't know much about the jinn. But I can't come to the conclusion that they are, I'm trying to do my full research, that they are human beings, the elite. I don't know about the story of Solomon and the jinn, and I mean, he talked to the animals. So if he talked to the animals and he heard them, but other people couldn't, then maybe he seen the jinn, he can interact with the jinn. You know what I mean? But there's a proof, there's an ayah that says that in the jinn we created before. So if they created before us, and they're supposed to be humans, then I mean that they are a different breed of human beings. They can't be Donald Trump and Kim Kardashian and all those people. They can't be the elite, because they should be a different kind of human beings with different sets of characteristics. They're made from fire. We are made from the earth, clay, whatever you want to call it. Two different kinds of creations, two different kinds of species. Then on top of that, the ayat where God says they see you, Lucifer and his minions see you where you can't see them. If we can't see them but they can see us, how are we seeing these people? I'm just not understanding it. People who say they follow this reminder, it's like y'all don't get all of the ayats and put them together. Why do y'all still believe in some 3 traditional prayer type thing? It's not there. I don't get it. It's obvious Quranic centric, and Hamza Yusuf, and not Hamza Yusuf, Hamza Abdul Malik clearly explained it. It's just where they went and got the Quran from the Prophet. I mean, it's actually clear. It's mubin. It's if you read the context, you would see. Anywhere say they ask you concerning this. This is in the salat. Salat just means commitment. Right now, as I'm doing this, I'm making salat. And if you are watching this from beginning to end, you are making salat. You're committed to this. If you are playing basketball and you're working on your craft, that is salat, and that is your tasbih. Tasbih just means pursuit. It just means a pursuit. Your salat is your commitment, and your tasbih is your pursuit. Everybody knows it's salat and it's tasbih. Yeah, everything knows it. A bird knows that if it's hungry, it gotta go get the food, come back and regurgitate it and spit it up and give it to its babies. And the animals know what they gotta do. We know what we gotta do. We know if you need money, you gotta go work. We know this stuff. If you sick, you gotta get medicine. We know this stuff. This is everyone does it. Whether you accept God or not, God says everything submits to God, willingly or unwillingly. The natural laws, you submit to natural laws. That's submitted to God, willingly or unwillingly. Period. I done did this. If you are one who only follow the reminder, I come from a traditional background, right? I was Sunni, and as I started getting into the reading more and more and seeing what was really being said, I went from making 5 salats to 3 salats. I just did it standing. I would say the Quran and then go straight down to a sajda, and then I started reading more and more, and I started saying, this is not what is being said. I just started looking at the words and how the words being used. If you look at, I had to go through every spot where the word sajda was used and see what the sajda mean. I had to go to every spot where the word ruku' is used and see what this ruku' means. I had to go to every spot where qiyam, right? Qiyam is used. Or aqimu, you know what I mean? Where that word is used. I had to see, what does that word mean and how is it used in the context? So I went from that to now I don't do no traditional salat at all. I was fasting, then I stopped because as I'm reading the context of what I'm reading, I'm seeing that there's something else going on here. Right? Now, God's going to judge everyone with what God's given everybody. Right? But all I know is that they got to come to a point where you just have to see the traditional salat, the 3 times salat, however you're going to do this salat, you say it started with Abraham and continue on down, and the rakats mathematically meet up with this and all this other stuff. Come on. Just follow the reminder. What did God say? Those who trust The Jews, the Christians, the Sabians, whoever trusts in God and the day after, or the last day, or the afterlife, and make things right. God is not about no dogmatic rituals, anything like that. Right? The cosmology of the reading is simple. It's what we see. And we see a sun moving over us. We don't feel the earth moving. Why? They say because of gravity. Listen, if you believe in that stuff, gravity is your God. You are committing shirk then. Why? Because gravity, so why we can't fly? Oh, because gravity is keeping you down. No, because God made this way. God made us this way. If God wanted us to fly, we could fly. If I lift my leg up, I'm defying gravity now? Until I get so tired and gravity brings it down? Why did gravity decide what falls quicker and what falls slower? Because of its weight. How did gravity decide that? Gravity is a God. Period. I don't care. The way y'all make gravity sounds, the whole science of it, y'all make it a God. It's doing this. It's making a tide. It's bringing the moon closer here. It's rotating this. It's revolving this in the sky. It's doing this and it's keeping this on the ground and it's making. Come on, man. I don't get it. I don't get it. It's just plain and simple. All you gotta do is read the words. It's basic and plain. Like God told Muhammad, ask to increase my knowledge. You ask God to increase your knowledge. You do the work. You ask God to increase your knowledge, and you be sincere with it. Right? You gotta be sincere with it. You can't follow NASA cosmology. I'm sorry. It's incorrect. It's incorrect. Incorrect. If the earth was a three-dimensional ball, why everywhere on the earth, everyone is looking straight up? We should be looking this way, that way. Some people should be downward. If they're at the bottom of the earth, they should be facing downward. But gravity is keeping them to the ground so they can't fall off the earth. I don't know. Why there's no clouds in the sky? I mean, in the so-called outer space. God said the clouds are between the skies and the earth, right? Or in ancient words, the heavens and the land, right? The clouds between them. There's nothing attaching them to the sky or the earth. So why, if the earth is spinning, man, over 1,000 miles an hour and is rotating over 1,000 miles an hour, spinning around the sun, why they never show you pictures of a bunch of cumulonimbus clouds, storm clouds up in the universe? Why them storm clouds ain't making no rain and thunder and lightning up in the universe flying around? Come on, man. Come on, man. Gravity can't bring the clouds down, but it can bring the rain down out of the clouds? Come on, man. I don't get it. I just don't get it. That's why, you know what I mean? That's why you gotta be aware. I mean, listen. Whoever talks about the reading of the Quran, I'ma listen. For example, even if you don't accept it as the truth, there was a person who didn't follow the Quran. I don't know if they was Christian. It could be whatever. They said that Muhammad was not is not from the bloodlines of Ishmael. See, I always believed that from being traditional. I always believed that, period, because, you know what I mean? But then once he said so, even though I read the proofs, the ayahs before, it never clicked. But once he said, look, the Quran says that that his forefathers was not warned before. And he's saying Abraham, Ishmael, and Isaac was warned. So that means that if they was warned and his forefathers wasn't warned, that means that he can't be from the lineage of Ishmael. So I started thinking, boom, oh, let me check it out. It makes sense. Makes sense. And then if you go into the supplication of Abraham and Ishmael, when they talking about they raised the foundation, and he said, and give them a messenger from amongst them, quoting your proof. Not reciting. The word Yasluna does not mean to recite. It means to quote verbatim. Quoting verbatim, right? That's what it means, to quote verbatim. And making them know the law and the wisdom. It's not teaching them. You're making them know it because they didn't know it before, so you're making them know. Alim means to know. Just like the word alamin. They say it means, some people say it means all mankind. Or it means the worlds, all the worlds. No, alamin is plural for the knowing. It means knowing ones. Ones who know. God is the rub of the knowing ones. The ones that know. The alamin is the ones that knows. It's whoever they is. They know. They know this. This is who the alamin is. No matter which era they are, they know this. Well, whatever. Oh, and also, this is amongst the traditional Muslim also. You know what I mean? Yeah, I know the homosexual thing ain't right and stuff like that. Granted. But adultery, God puts homosexuality, adultery, just sleeping around and stuff like that, all that stuff as fahisha, sexual immorality. Right? Sexual immorality. Now, in the reading, God gives a punishment for adultery. Right? That fahisha. But not for any other kind of fahisha. I mean, he does give a punishment for fahisha, for adultery with, you know what I mean? Like when they talk about the women, seclude them to their homes or whatever. I think those was like they were prostitutes or something like that. But anyways, I noticed the Muslims be in an uproar about homosexuality, but they don't really be in an uproar about adultery. When God said, don't go near adultery. And it's fahisha and it's an evil way, or it's an evil way and it's fahisha. I didn't quote it verbatim. I don't have it in front of me, but something to that effect. But you understand what I'm saying? Peace.